Hello, I want to talk to you about the first collective for depth healing in March. Subject matter is flowing with change and life. And that's a very important subject, flowing with change and life. Easy to say, many times very hard to do. Right now, in 2025, with the Kali Yuga slow down toward its end, there is nothing but change. And the change is much faster than it's ever been in human history. And it won't slow down, it's going to speed up. So this subject is very, very important. Now, the ability to flow with life and change depends on, to a great degree, mental or emotional attachment. Mental or emotional attachment can be to stories. Something happens, your mind runs a story, you identify with the story, and emotions keep the story running. So I was famous for this, especially in my young years. Young years means from childhood all the way through, 20s, 30s, even the 40s, where there would be some kind of an insult or something that I took personally, and I had what we call carryover. It means the story goes on forever and ever. You keep repeating it and ruminating over it. And therefore, your mind, or my mind, was in the past. So if the guy insulted me last week, for instance, and it's 7 days later, that means I'm stuck, and a vast amount of my consciousness is anchored in the past. And that's wasted energy, wasted perception, everything. That way, life is lost, what I'm doing now, and you get stuck. So it means I'm not flowing with life. Now, Eckhart Tolle, the great enlightened German teacher, he likes to give an example of ducks. You see some ducks in a pond, and duck A gets into a fight with duck B. And all of a sudden there's a flurry, and then duck A leaves and duck B leaves, and it's forgotten. There's a burst, it flows, and then it goes. It's gone. And as Eckhart Tolle said, if those were people, Mr. A would be walking away saying, I'm going to get that guy. He had no right to do that. And other people saw him say that to me. So they're going to be talking, and it's going to get around the whole neighborhood. And eventually it'll reach my family. And the same thing with duck B. But with the ducks, because the ducks don't have consciousness that worries about future or past, so they don't have that issue. It's in the present, it's experienced, and then it's gone. And they're not retaining the memory. Now, when I first moved to California in 1991, there was a retreat, a Vipassana retreat at the top of Mount Shasta. And I went up there. And up there was a monk or a guru, I'm not sure which, but he was Hindu religion of some sect. And they were talking about this very same subject. Back in those days, I was 31 years old. The only world I knew was martial art only. And I asked this guy a question, because he says, if you get real passionate and you get stuck, and your mind is stuck there, this same subject, right? Needing to be able to flow and let go. So I said to him, I have a question, sir. When I do my craft, my martial art craft, or when I'm teaching, I do it with a great deal of passion. Is that wrong? And he answered me like this. He said, because he built brick walls up there on Mount Shasta, and he said, I when I build the brick walls, I do that with great passion also. I just don't keep the memory. And I'll never forget that. It's many decades later now, and I've never forgotten that. I do it with great passion, meaning living in the present moment with everything he's got. But I do not keep the memory. And at that moment, I recognize that man as a very high level, massively higher than anything I was aware of at the time. And luckily, I could at least recognize that. So this collective is going to be working on that, removing carryover, emotional, mental identification with a story that locks you in the past. Please join me and tell all of your friends. These collectives are enormously powerful and they're enormously important. Each collective that I do, 2 per month, is cumulative and builds on the last one. Don't think of them as islands. They are islands, but don't think of them that way. They're designed so that by the end of the year, you are a different person living in a different reality. Okay? So I'll see you there. Go to depthhealing.org. Bye for now.